Hi, I'm Stickland, and I decided to write 2 books at once amid all this chaos. So, have I lost my mind yet? Tune in to find out. Okay, day 4. Writing 2 books at once. Well, I did no writing on day 4. I was uploading my video, and that took me a long time because I'm not familiar with the program that I'm using now. I used to use a different one, but it's not for commercial use. So Google has an algorithm that picks up things that are copyrighted. And if you're using a video editor that uses a codec that's copyrighted, you can be flagged. So I don't want to get into that. I use an open source program that is available. You can use it for commercial use or whatever you want. And that way I'm, covered. Now, I had to organize all my video clips and stuff like that and try and figure out what I was going to use for what. And then, of course, it got really easy to delete certain ones where I forgot to turn on my mic. Can you tell I'm an amateur? Just a little? Okay, so whatever. Day 5 was my second day of working on Haydorn, and that only resulted in about 300 words, except most of my day was spent on research because it is very historically dense, I'll say. And that means lots of research, and then more research, and then more research after that. It goes back 2,000 years, and that's when it starts, and it goes all the way to the present. So through the different trilogies. The different trilogies will take place in different times and places, and it will be interesting. Really interesting, and probably educational, at least for me and anybody who chooses to read the book. Or books, I should say. Now, how am I going to do all that research? Well, I'm going to talk to you about that next week, or next 3 days. That's it, 3 days. My next vlog. I'm going to talk to you about that because I'm interviewing somebody. Now, don't worry. We're following all the guidelines. We're being safe. It's not even actually an issue. And you'll find out why next video. I keep wanting to say next week, like I'm only doing this once a week. But anyway, yeah, so I ended up with like 1,748 words. This is why I'm wearing my glasses, because I have like a ton of notes that I was, working on. I was kind of like working on my book at the same time as jotting it down here because I needed to remember certain things even when I was like working on the book. But now day 3 was a lost cause in a way, although it's not lost cause. It wasn't a lost cause on the personal front because we were told that we would need to prepare. And we'd already started doing that a long time ago, but we wanted to make sure we had everything at the last minute, like everybody else. And then, of course, I started watching the news. And I was a staff writer, journalist for a publication where I used to do political pieces. And so I still have like my one foot in kind of thing in the sense that I'm always watching what's going on. Actually, I'm kind of hearing about it a lot through my partner. So that is kind of, I'm never out of it. And when I do decide to stick my foot and my other foot and then my 2 hands in, I really get involved. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I just keep saying to people, cite your sources. Cite your sources. If you have this bold claim to make, cite your sources. Now, I tweet out stuff all the time, and I usually will include a link, but not always. So the same could be said for me. But if anybody disputes what I have to say, I will provide a link. It's that simple. It's the person who makes the claim who has to defend their argument. And that's what happens in universities and stuff like that. Somebody who's going for a PhD, they have the board that's, going to throw out a whole bunch of arguments at you. if you haven't made those arguments yourself. And that's the whole point to writing a thesis. So, not that I've done this, but it's how it's been described to me. So, anyway, yeah, I've learned through journalism to cite my sources. If I'm writing an article, I always cite my sources. I still have people saying, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She didn't read this. And she, whatever. If you didn't read the links that I have provided for you, you won't learn anything. So, anywho, cite your sources. That's all you have to say to people when they're making outlandish claims. And trust me, it helps because you dampen down the misinformation if you do this, okay? You discourage it, and it allows real information to get through to people that need to have it. So, here's the thing. While it sounds like it was a wasted day, it isn't. It never is. Writers never waste anything. Like, that's about the only way I can put it. Everything that comes into a writer's head, through their eyes, through their ears, what they taste, what they smell, what they touch, what they feel, everything is... I watched a YouTube video, and I couldn't tell you who it was. And the person said that if you're a writer, you're always trying to describe something. How am I going to describe this if I were to write about it? And I don't really think of it that way. It's more that I'm crystallizing it, I think, in my mind as to the sensation and that sort of thing. If I'm actually focusing on something, that's what I do. But at the same time, everything that's happening around us is always being absorbed. We have all these filters that are going on all the time to keep us from, making us go crazy, because there's way too much information for our brains to actually process. I took some psychology courses, which included neurology, but anyway. So here's the thing. Basically, it's more like no experience is ever wasted on a writer. Like, none. Okay? We use it. There's a meme that I like to share sometimes about don't ever piss off a writer because we'll put you in our book. So, yeah. That can be really cathartic sometimes. You don't necessarily have to keep them, the character that you've written, but, a lot of people do. But you're going to remember what's going on. And you're going to remember this later, and you're going to remember how you felt. And you're going to be able to go, hey, I can describe this. I know what it's like to be in that situation. So we write what we know, okay? And what we know we keep. Nobody can take that away from you. All of your experiences are yours. Everything that you learn is yours, and you get to keep that. So it doesn't really matter if you've chosen to write words that day, so long as you write another day, okay? That is the trick. Yeah. These last 3 days have been less productive than I would like. But we're living in extraordinary times that are really, they're unprecedented, and for us, at least. So the distraction is understandable. Additionally, my daughter works in an elder care facility, which is concerning. So we have to be very, very safe here. And I hope you're doing the same. I really do. If you have a lot of time on your hands and you've decided that this is a great time to publish your novel, or even if you don't have a lot of time on your hands and it's a great time to publish your novel, I can help you with that. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon if you want notifications of my upcoming videos, because I got a ton of tutorials coming out. I've already filmed like most of the stuff that I want to put in them. So it's not going to take me long to put them together, and I'm going to be rolling them out really fast. This is Nyx. Aw, she's a very kissy girl. Okay, my Amazon link is in the description if you want to check out any of my novels, and the first book is Tipping Point, just to get you introduced to that. It's 99 cents on Kindle. I dropped the price permanently. It's not a sale. It was originally $2.99. I thought, might as well put it to 99 cents. This is a hard time for everybody right now. So, and I've also included a link to my Zazzle. I have a t-shirt store. I have a weird sense of humor. So if you kind of like a weird sense of humor on t-shirts, there you go. Please be safe and get writing. Bye.